What's up, Kill2 Technical? I'm back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about why why would you even bother with coming out with a tri-folded smartphone. So, number one, they don't need to come out with a tri-folded smartphone because they have not even yet been able to get their Z Fold products with a bigger screen on the outside display. So that's why I say you shouldn't even bother with coming out with a Trifold, because this is the Z Fold 6. They're going to be moving on to the Z Fold 7 this year. They're still trying to figure out how they can make the front display wider. And if you make a Trifold and the screens are not as big as people would like it, then that would be a waste of your money. So that's a reason why I feel like you guys should just sit back and wait, try to perfect the device a little bit more before you try to just come out there and throw out a tri-folded smartphone. Even though I know it's a good concept, but if you don't make it to where it's going to have the bigger outer display, bigger inner displays, then I wouldn't even bother making it. Number two would have to be, because if you're not going to be able to come out with this Trifold smartphone with at least a 6,000 milliamp battery, that's another reason why you should scratch it and wait. I'm not saying you should never come out with it. Eventually come out with it, but take some time to, work on it. Don't just try to come out with something in 2025, because we all know the Samsung's foldable devices do not have enough battery to power them, and this is just talking about one screen and then one big screen on the inside. But then when you come to talking about a trifold, that's a whole screen, making it look like three other screens in the inside. Or at least that was their concept of it when I seen it online, or when I seen them talking about it. So that's another reason why I say, Samsung, you shouldn't even bother coming out with a trifold, because you have not perfected the outer displays on your folds yet. Your folds still do not have a 6,000 milliamp battery, Number three would have to be if you're the S Pen. Okay, so we only have access to using the S Pen on your inner display on your folding devices. As you can see, it'll work on the inner display, but then when it comes to the outer display, you have no access. Why can't we get a folding phone with a S Pen that works on the outside? That's another reason why I'm gonna say you should not put out a tri-folding phone this year, at least this year, because if you're not gonna have it to where the S Pen will be able to work on all screens, just wait a minute. You guys are in a rush, as of a lot of other phone brands. You guys are in a rush to hurry out and get a phone out, because you're like, oh, we can make money, but you're not sitting back thinking like, okay, let's pull it. Let's just wait a couple of years when we're able to get everything close to perfect, So that is number three. Number four would have to be, don't come out with it if you can't give us at least 80-watt wired charging. These folds still do not have the fast wired charging like we want, and the regular size devices still do not have the fast wired charging as we want. Sometimes I feel like these companies and Samsung are just trying to rush to get their product out because they want to have something come out every year. I would rather them do every other year, if that means that we can get a nice device that's going to work well, that's going to have bigger battery life, it's going to give us a 80-watt wireless wire charging, that's going to have S Pen support on all three screens. Don't just rush these products out because you think you're going to make money and people are going to want to buy it. Sit back and wait. OnePlus was supposed to come out with their Open 2 this year, but they pulled it. And I'm glad they pulled it because they're like, hey, we can perfect this a tad bit better. We're going to wait. We're not going to put it out now. And Samsung, I feel like you should take some classes from OnePlus. If there's something that is not perfected, just wait a minute. Work on it. Because if you come out with a device every other year, that's giving you a lot of time to sit back and fix things that you see that can be better. Give us more instead of just throwing out a device for a lot of money. And that's another thing. If you guys come out with a tri-folding phone this year and it does not have all the features and the build that people want to see, and it's more expensive, you're already not going to make money off of that device, because nobody is going to want to spend their money on something super expensive when you don't get bigger screen on the outside and inside, when you don't get access to using the S Pen on all of the screens, when you don't get bigger battery life, and when you're not getting 80-watt wired fast charging. It's ridiculous that you companies want to just throw out things at us just like here every year. I feel like we should go back to let's go back to every other year so everything can be perfected. Yes, it's a good idea to come out with a trifold because that's something new, that's the future, but I want you guys to come out with it when it is fully ready, not half stepping, not half doing it, because if you half do it, then your sales are not going to look good. That's just like with the Z Fold Fan Edition. That should have been the Z Fold 6. There was no reason why that couldn't have been the Z Fold 6. But you rushed the Z Fold 6. And then you came out and brought out the Z Fold 7. The Z Fold 6 Fan Edition. Letting us know that you are capable of making a folding device that we want. You just didn't want to give it to us at the time that you wanted to give it to us because you wanted to come out with a Z Fold 6 and then slide in the Fan Edition. And then another thing is you didn't want to give people access to it in the United States of America. So, with that being said, those are reasons why you should not come out with the trifold. We already know the trifold is not going to be announced with the Z Fold 7 and the Z Flip 7, which is good. I just feel like it should not come out at all this year. I don't even know if it is coming out this year. I just know there's talks about it. But I just know if you guys want to get people happy about your devices, sit back in your lab, take some time to write down everything we're telling you to do, and just test out different kind of concepts. Don't just say, oh yeah, this looks good, even though it doesn't have fast word charging, even though the screens are not big enough we can get by, even though the battery is not strong enough we can get by. No, it's 2025. We need at least 6,000 milliamp battery on these devices from Samsung moving forward. We just have to, because 5,000 milliamp battery stuff, that's done for. It's 2025. Come on, give us bigger battery life, especially when you want to do folding phones and then add it in tri-folding phones. That tri-folding phone is going to need to have a big battery to power it. That's like unfolding 3 screens in the inside. That's going from this regular fold to a whole nother screen. 5,000 milliamp battery is not going to cut it, Samsung, and you know it. Give us consumers and tech people what we want. And that's another thing. If they're not giving us what we want, we need to chill out. We don't need to buy their devices, because really and truly it's making us look stupid, because we're going every time, including myself, buying their devices, even though we know it's not what we want. And they're going to keep doing it as long as we let them. So in the comment section below, let me know how you feel about Samsung coming out with their tri-folding phone. Let me know if you agree with me or if you disagree with me. And I will catch you in the next video. I'm out.